Hi, I'm Erica.
And I'm Komal. We're from Google Developers, and here to tell you about Developer Student Clubs.
Developer Student Clubs train thousands of student developers globally and work with their communities to solve real-life problems.
I'm sure you're curious how it works. Google selects amazing students from across the globe once a year to be a Developer Student Club lead and start a club on their campus.
These clubs host workshops to help students learn about Google technologies.
And they work with local businesses, startup NGOs, even their universities to build real solutions for real problems.
These leads believe knowledge is power and that technology can do extraordinary things for the world.
They take on the responsibility to help students learn and empower these students to solve real problems around them.
Through this experience, they not only bridge the gap between theory and practice for students, but leave a legacy of impact.
Join us in building a global community for students.
Well, I sent the email for the Cloud Study Jam last week on Friday. I was shocked that in less than 5 minutes, we actually had about 30 people signing up for it. Today we're having a Google Cloud Study Jam. So we have students coming from all majors. We have computer science, management information system, business administration, engineering. And the idea is they kind of have the interest to get to know more about technology, but they don't know where to start. So as DSC, that's where we come in.
We're going to do the first two labs. We're creating a virtual machine and using the G Cloud and G Cloud shell. So it's pretty much exciting.
So your virtual machine was like a house, right? And the SSH is like a gate, like an entry point into the house that you created.
I'm the patron to the Developer Students Club. The issue is that computer science classes provide some level of theory introduction, some level of practice, but then we want to let the students appreciate current technologies, state-of-the-art technologies, by introducing them through Developer Students Club workshops and seminars.
So I wanted to go into web development. Before, I was not someone who actually likes coding, that tech stuff, but ever since I joined DSC, I've actually started coding a lot and doing some projects on my own.
Yeah, students from all majors, they really want to know more about what they can actually do to contribute to problem solving in the society.
Really love teaching people and making them realize that, oh, I can actually do this. That's one of the things that really give me the joy when I see that in people.
When I came to first year, I found it difficult navigating a lot of facilities on campus. Most first year students, they found it a major challenge. So I said, okay, this is something that we really need to solve. The DSC is a community where students who are like-minded come together to learn technologies in cloud, Android development, and web development. So after a few workshops, I figured that we could solve accessibility for first year students. We decided to use the mall as a use case to build a navigation system using AR technology. At first, people were like, this is really a complex problem to solve. But then after we broke the problem down, we realized that all the technologies we had to use, we had already learned them in our DSC workshops.
When I heard about it, I was like, David, I need to join this project because I was lost basically the entire first academic year. And that's what DSC does. It gives you a project and it makes sure that you are well equipped to work on the project.
So we had a lot of volunteers and we broke them into teams. First, we had a Blender team to get a 3D model of the building. Then we had a Unity and Scripted team who got the models and made it interactive and available to the Android team, who built the screens and the app and used Firebase, which stores user data and for business analytics. And we had a UI team who created a designer set and all the dynamic interfaces you see. Last, we had a documentation team who put everything into one file to make it available to the open source community.
My name is Paul. and I study chemistry. I got inspired by attending one of the DSC seminars. I'm actually very impressed about my brother's journey here because as a computer science student, I just have to focus on the PC parts, computer building apps, but he has something else to do. But he's still taking some time off to help us, and he's really doing a good job. Now I can build Android apps. That means I can use that as a part-time job and maybe chemistry as my full-time job, or maybe the vice versa.
There were times that we had to meet in the evenings. There were times we had to meet early in the morning just to get the project working.
It was hard, but then we looked at the bigger picture and realized that, okay, we can do this. So, yeah, DSC is a family and it's about the learning of teamwork and leadership.
What we've built is not a perfect app, but we've come a long way by being able to use the knowledge that we gain from our DSC workshops. My God, this is cool. Who wouldn't love this?
Hi, I'm Erica.
And I'm Komal. We're from Google Developers, and here to tell you about developer student clubs.
Developer student clubs train thousands of student developers globally and work with their communities to solve real-life problems.
I'm sure you're curious how it works. Google selects amazing students from across the globe once a year to be a developer student club lead and start a club on their campus.
These clubs host workshops to help students learn about Google technologies.
And they work with local businesses, startups, NGOs, even their universities to build real solutions for real problems.
These leads believe knowledge is power and the technology can do extraordinary things for the world.
They take on the responsibility to help students learn and empower these students to solve real problems around them.
Through this experience, they not only bridge the gap between theory and practice for students, but leave a legacy of impact.
Join us in building a global community for students.
Well, I sent the email for the Cloud Study Jam last week on Friday. I was shocked that in less than 5 minutes, we actually had about 30 people signing up for it. Today we're having a Google Cloud Study Jam. So we have students coming from all majors. We have computer science, management information system, business administration, engineering. And the idea is they kind of have the interest to get to know more about technology, but they don't know where to start. So as DSC, that's where we come in.
We're going to do the first two labs. We're creating a virtual machine and using the G Cloud and G Cloud shell. So it's pretty much exciting.
So your virtual machine was like a house, right? And the SSH is like a gate, like an entry point into the house that you created.
I'm the patron to the Developer Students Club. The issue is that computer science classes provide some level of theory introduction, some level of practice, but then we want to let the students appreciate current technologies, state-of-the-art technologies by introducing them through Developer Students Club workshops and seminars.
So I wanted to go into web development. Before, I was not someone who actually likes like coding, that tech stuff. But ever since I joined DSC, I've actually started coding a lot and doing some projects on my own.
Yeah, students from all majors, they really want to know more about what they can actually do to contribute to problem solving in the society.
Really love teaching people and making them realize that, oh, I can actually do this. That's one of the things that really give me the joy when I see that in people.
When I came to first year, I found it difficult navigating a lot of facilities on campus. Most first year students, they found it a major challenge. So I said, okay, this is something that we really need to solve. The DSC is a community where students who are like-minded come together to learn technologies in cloud, Android development, and web development. So after a few workshops, I figured that we could solve accessibility for first-year students. We decided to use the mall as a use case to build a navigation system using AR technology. At first, people were like, this is really a complex problem to solve. But then after we broke the problem down, we realized that all the technologies we had to use, we had already learned them in our DSC workshops.
When I heard about it, I was like, David, I need to join this project because I was lost basically the entire first academic year. And that's what DSC does. It gives you a project and it makes sure that you are well equipped to work on the project.
So we had a lot of volunteers and we broke them into teams. First, we had a Blender team to get a 3D model of the building. Then we had the Unity and Scripted team who got the models and made it interactive and available to the Android team, who built the screens and the app and used Firebase, which stores user data and for business analytics. And we had a UI team who created a designer set and all the dynamic interfaces you see. Last, we had the documentation team who put everything into one file to make it available to the open source community.
My name is Paul, and I study chemistry. I got inspired by attending one of the DSC seminars.
I'm actually very impressed about my brother's journey here because as a computer science student, I just have to focus on the PC part, computer building apps, but he has something else to do. But he's still taking some time off to help us, and he's really doing a good job.
Now I can build Android apps. That means I can use that as a part-time job and maybe chemistry as my full-time job, or maybe the vice versa.
There were times that we had to meet in the evenings. There were times we had to meet early in the morning just to get the project working.
It was hard, but then we looked at the bigger picture and realized that, okay, we can do this. So, yeah, DSC is a family and it's about the learning of teamwork and leadership.
What we've built is not a perfect app, but we've come a long way by being able to use the knowledge that we gain from our DSC workshops. My God, this is cool. Who wouldn't love this?
Hi everyone, welcome to our info session for today. We will be starting in the next few minutes, so please, if you would like to grab some drinks or maybe to grab some snacks first, then maybe you could do so that you could just really chillax while watching our info session. So please, we'll be starting in the next minute, so chill lang tayo mga guys. So hello everyone. Hopefully everyone is chilling at their homes right now, keeping themselves safe and sound at this chill Saturday evening. But I know it's kind of hot, of course. In my case, my weather here is kind of hot. But yeah, it's really nice to see you all. So far, what we're seeing right now is that 80 people, 81 people are watching right now over our YouTube live, and it's really nice to see those numbers. I mean, thank you so much for really having us like spending your late evening, not evening, but late afternoons with us. So maybe let's have a look on the comments, shall we? So it seems that everyone is so really happy and they're really excited about what we will be doing right now. That's nice. Hi everyone also. Wow, there's a shout out. So pa-shout out po sa BSIT. Okay, hi everyone from the BSIT today. Wow. Pa-shout out po Kuya Migs from Drian Larde. Wow. So yeah, I mean, it's really nice to have you all, and hopefully the numbers, everyone would still be coming over our live for today. So this is much of an informal introduction of our org. But please, this would be as much as we can, we really make this as detailed as possible. So please leave your questions or any suggestions that you would like to share over our chat. So yeah, for the last shout out, we have Jimu Lagarta, pa-shout out naman po sa BSCS. So for those who were having the same course with us, hi everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well. And pa-shout out sa PLM Computer Science Society. So hi, PLM CSS. They are actually one of our kasandigan when it comes to our organization. So yeah, so it's really nice seeing all of your chats over here on our live comment section. So that's really nice. So please keep it going. However, we would like to give you a disclaimer. Due to the platform that we are currently using, you will be experiencing some delays in terms of our broadcast. So if you're not seeing your responses right away on our screen, then please, we really ask for your patience. Medyo may delay siya. So it would be, roughly that would be around 10-second delay. So please bear with us if ever. Right now, if we would be encouraging you all to please put up your questions on our live chat. So it's really nice that you are really all chatting over our comment or our live comment section. So that's good. However, as we progress on the program, we would like to request all of you to at least minimize because we would like to use the live chat for some questionings. So, but go. Just have a little interactions with all of our participants for today. It's really nice to see you all. So, yeah. So I think we could now start on. So for our little icebreaker, next please. So yeah, we really like to know very well, or at least somewhat, somehow, our participants for today. We would like to know you more, at least by little background about some of the topics that we would be discussing for today. So please, you could all go to slido.com. If you have a spare device, maybe extra phone siguro, or maybe an extra laptop, I don't know. Just open your browsers and go and head over to slido.com and then enter the code DSCPLM so you could join our live polling. So this would just be a very simple poll for all of us, just to really get to know all of you. So as shown on your screens, again, please visit slido.com. You can also scan the QR code if you have QR code scanners over your phone. It would direct you into the live poll that we have for today. But if you don't have, then slido.com and then enter the event code DSCPLM. So yeah, we would be giving a little bit time for all of you to join because, as I said earlier, we're having a 10 seconds delay due to the platform that we are using. So para makasali lahat, we would like to give a little time para makita nyo. And if you would also look, if you have already joined over slido.com, you will be seeing two tabs over there. Yung isang tab is where we would do our live polling, but at the same time, you could use the Q&A portion over there to actually post your questions for us. So kung may mga tanong kayo about the discussions, just please drop it there. Like if you could see it and just drop it. Yes, so please, again, let us all join if you may, because gusto namin kayo makilala by the list. And again, please post your questions over there. Oh yeah, so we're seeing already some of the Q&A. So yeah, we would be opening the Q&A later on as our discussion progress. But just to take note, please, as much as possible, post your questions over islido.com because we would be looking the questions over there. And as soon as you have come up with a question, kung may naisip kayong question during the discussion, please i-post nyo na po sila doon sa Q&A natin so that on our Q&A later on, we would be able to answer all of those because we're having a delay. But if you cannot really access Slido for the Q&A, then you could use our live chat or our live comments so that we could see your questions. So I guess everyone's already here, so maybe we could start our first question. So what comes to your mind when you hear the word tech? So you will be seeing the question first before you actually see the screen, so please really bear with us. But yeah, just keep your answers going because we will still be seeing it. So we're around 98 right now. Hopefully, if that 98 really just shows everyone what the word tech is. So yeah, like that's really good. So far we're seeing computer and innovation as one of the common words. So this is a word cloud. So it means that common words would be highlighted on our screen for today. So as you could see, when you hear the word tech, it seems that everyone is reacting that it's relating to future, computer, innovation. Yeah, that's really, really nice to hear from all of you. So advancements, power, science, Microsoft, yeah, code, yeah, gadgets, programming. Yeah, it's really nice to hear. But so far, what we're seeing is that the common word that seems to really agreed on is the word innovation. Like that's actually true. Tech, when we hear the tech, it seems that it sounds like futuristic. It sounds like tools or everything. So, 'di ba, parang through tech we were able to achieve innovation, or we were able to innovate new things from all. So yeah, so it's really nice to see all of your reactions over there. So just keep those things coming because you everyone will be seeing that. So I guess again, as I remind you all, the question would show first on your screens before it displays on your YouTube live because of the delay. So please really, really bear with us with this one. So yeah, let's go ahead on the next question. So could you describe your level of proficiency in tech? Like give yourself a rate. Like one is being the lowest, like you don't know at all. You don't know about tech at all. Like maybe you're not aware on how to use various technologies that we are using today. Maybe give it a 5 if you're very well versed with using technology. Like in general, it could be like troubleshooting your computer, or maybe using various apps that is available today, or maybe you're also already developing apps, or maybe developing systems or softwares. Then you could rate yourself 5. But if you think that it seems that you're quite so kung tawagin, then you could just have those numbers in between. But yeah, so far what we are seeing, right? Yep, it seems that everyone is voting for a 3 in terms of being proficient in tech. Well, hopefully, it's not an imposter syndrome, like hindi lang kayo nagpapahumble. But yeah, we do understand if some of you are not yet well exposed with tech, like for instance, yung programming or being a developer or development. We understand that. We really understand about those things. So yeah, I think let's head on to our last question, which is what programming languages, frameworks, developer tools, or tools in general that you have already used? Like, could you describe, for instance, you have used Photoshop, then it's fine. Or maybe if you have used Canva, then it's fine. It doesn't really have to be necessarily just programming languages like Java, Python, C++, Android, or whatever. It could be anything like graphic designing, then let us know. Or maybe if you know how to use Microsoft Word, then that already counts also. But you could also describe the skills that you have, such as maybe programming itself, like networking. So yeah, so far, yeah, we're seeing that it seems everyone knows how to use HTML. I mean, been there, done that. Like everyone have done it, especially if you are coming from CS, IT, or computer engineering. I guess that's a very common skill that we all know. Yeah, we also have C++ and C. Wow, so very native. I mean, kudos to those who are using those. Yeah, nothing. We see nothing. Well, it's fine. We really understood if you don't really have that skill yet. Yeah, but so far we're saying it seems that the programming languages really invades our word cloud for today, with HTML being on the middle, which means everyone seems to be voting for that word. But yeah, it's really good to hear. Like everyone seems to be techie so far. Interesting. VS Code for the win. Yes. Okay. This really ends our poll for today. So we really thank you so much for your background, your the things that you're doing in tech so far. But yeah, it's really good to see those things. So now I guess since we already have a background in terms of what you are, so basically we have seen that some of you are really well versed when it comes to tech, like not just programming itself, but it seems that you're also good at applying tech related skills, like maybe designing or creating documents like that, those things. It's really good to hear. So it means that you're really into tech. At the same time, we have also seen that in terms of proficiency, you're quite in the middle. So you classified yourselves as someone techie, non really techie, but at the same time techie. So it means that there are some parts of technology that you are well versed of, or maybe not. So that's actually still good to hear. I guess let's to our discussion. So thank you everyone for really joining our poll for today. It's really nice that you participated well on the things that we would like to ask from you. So again, we will be opening up the Q&A. So again, as we say, please, as soon as a question pops up out of your head, kung may tanong kayo bigla na naisip during the discussion, please drop it right away sa Slido Q&A natin, or you could access our live chat over there sa YouTube. So please, and we will all try to answer them later on sa Q&A natin. So thank you everyone for participating. So now I would like to head over to our discussion about what DSC PLM is all about. So for today, we're going to have our info session. So usually this is just a sesh, like a relaxed session wherein we could get to know about what developer student clubs is in general, and at the same time how developer student clubs would be implemented in our Pamantasang Mahal. So hi everyone, I'm Juan Miguel A. Mendoza. I am currently one of the DSC leads in our global community and at the same time here in the Philippines. So it's nice meeting you all. So I hope that we're all doing well. So for today, I would be discussing all about the technicalities and the things that we would be having for our DSC. So next slide, please. So let's move ahead to the very first question that will come up out of your head kapag narinig nyo na ang DSC, which is, what is Developer Student Clubs? Next slide, please. Developer Student Clubs are university-based community groups that is very an emphasis, groups that help student developers learn together and work with their communities to solve real life problems. So developer student clubs is a organization. Usually it's just a community groups na hineheld on various universities wherein we are building a community of student developers para mag-solve ng mga community problems. So later on, we would be describing what kind of community problems are we trying to solve. So it's also worthy to take note that Developer Student Clubs is a program supported by Google developers. So basically, Google developers is a group. Actually, it's also a community group of developers. Those are persons that are already in the industry that are advocating about technology also. However, they specifically advocate for the Google technologies. So basically, mga technologies ng Google ang ina-advocate nila. So basically, developer student clubs in general is actually under the program of the Google developers. Next slide, please. So overall, just to really give the beefiest definition of DSC, DSC just tries to bridge the gap between theory and practice for student developers. I know that everyone would encounter like nag-aaral kayo and then it seems that the prof gave you a lot of theories, a lot of texts like ano lang mga whatnots, mga theory, yon, mga definitions and all of that. And it seems that for us, nahihirapan tayong intindihin yung mga definitions na yun or those theories. And usually that's the gap that happens whenever you study, especially during your college. Minsan ang hirap isipin, ano bang relation ng course ko sa gagawin ko talaga in real life? Does every theory that I study in school would apply well to the industry? Well, here at DSC, we try to bridge that theory and practice. It means that we are going to solidify those theories that you have learned academically and we will put it into practice, which is very important. And even the industry itself are really looking for those individuals that have already mastered their skills by applying the theory part of their study life into an actual practice. And here in DSC, we expose student developers, which is you, potentially you as members, to be really practicing that theory very well. So next slide, please. Basically, DSC, being part of DSC is actually being part also of a global community. DSC is not just something that shoots out of the ground like mushroom or kabute. It's not like that. Like DSC, joining DSC is also being a part of the global community. As of this year, 2020, we are now currently around 1,200 chapters all over the world. So to be specific, that's around 1,288 or 8-ish chapters that you could find around the world. So it goes around the continents such as North America, South America, Africa, India, and Asia, which is very, very nice. This means that you're not just joining DSC PLM per se, but being part of DSC PLM is also being part of the global community. So next slide, please. And to give you a brief background in terms of the demographics here, at Southeast Asia alone, we already have DSC chapters around 7 countries in Southeast Asia, and there are already 162 chapters in 67 cities. So those countries listed are Pakistan, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Singapore, and of course our beloved homeland, Philippines. So actually, that's only for the Southeast Asia part, but actually whole Asia also has DSC chapters such as in Japan, South Korea, and China. So if you're looking for a DSC OPA, then maybe you could connect with our communities over at South Korea. So basically, we are everywhere. So next slide, please. All over the Philippines. Currently, for 2020, we are around 24 chapters already, which includes our university. So we are now recognized by DSC Philippines as one of the existing chapters in our Pamantasang Mahal. But some of those universities are from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, such as from Cebu, Tuguegarao, Bacolod, Zamboanga City, and you name it. And then next slide, please. So what do we try to do here in DSC-PLM? So what do we aspire to, or what do we envision that happens here in DSC-PLM? So DSC-PLM is a very new org, to be honest, and we would really disclose that our accreditation status is still on process because we are really a relative new org. But as of now, what we envision for PLM is to really create a community of developers that are really passionate about uplifting communities through technology and innovation. Sometimes when you hear the word tech, sometimes you really associate it right away to those people who study computer science, IT, or computer engineering, which is, it's partly true. However, there's a missing part about the definition of tech. Like, ang tech naman talaga, it doesn't really have to be condensed to those people na nag-aaral ng ComSci, IT, or computer engineering. Because in the first place, tech is a very, very multidisciplinary knowledge. It means that tech could be applied everywhere. Tech itself could not just be tech itself. Itself could exist everywhere, such as what? In sciences, in education, in government, and you just name it. Like every industry or every aspect of our society uses technology. And that is why we try to create that community that considers technology as a tool to really alleviate the problems of our communities by creating innovative products or technologies that really solves real life problems. Next slide, please. So why would you join DSC PLM in the first place? Like, ano ba mga pakulo nyo dyan sa org nyo na yan? Like, for sure, most of you would really have that kind of question. So next slide, please. In general, being part of DSC PLM, we are aspiring, or we are trying to provide these opportunities to the students. So first one is to grow your knowledge on developer technologies and more through peer-to-peer workshops and events. So with this first one, it's very important to really have that theory. Theory itself is very important when it comes to learning. So we're not segregating that fact from the DSC. That is why here in DSC, we grow your knowledge, that theory, by using various existing developer technologies that Google could provide for us. And the learning style that we have here in DSC is not that much of a tradition one. Na merong speaker and merong listener. We also incorporate a learning wherein they call peer-to-peer learning, which means that if you're going to learn a certain skill or technology, you could ask your other members or us, officers, your kuyas, in order to understand more what is the use of that particular maybe tool. Like for instance, paano ginagamit ang Python for data science, or maybe how HTML is being used in web. So basically, that is what we do here in DSC PLM. You're not just learning from a speaker, listener perspective or learning style, but you're going to also learn collaboratively. And that's a very important skill also in the industry, because in the industry, you should be also a great team member. Second of which, of course, is that what we try to provide here in DSC PLM is for an experience that you could be proud of. So gain relevant industry-ready experiences by solving problems for local organizations with technology-based solutions. So ano ibig sabihin nito? So you will be having an actual experience, like a industry-related experience by exposing you to create projects or technologies for a local community. So for instance, pwedeng ganito ang mangyari. We would be contacting maybe a public elementary school, and maybe, for instance, they have a problem of putting up their own website because no one knows how to do it. So DSC could come in and maybe offer our help by giving them or making them a website for their school. So basically, in that project, you will be able to gain a industry related experience when it comes to building technology, which is again, that's the practice part that we are emphasizing on the DSC. And of course, lastly, you will be showcasing your prototypes and solutions to the local community and industry leaders. So basically, what you do is not just for yourselves. Hindi ka lang gumagawa, for instance, ng maybe ng mobile app or ng website para lang sa portfolio mo. You will be showcasing those creations that you have to a local community that needs it or a local organization, or potentially it could be presented to a industry leader, maybe investor or a potential business developer in the future. So that is what we try to do here in DSCPLM. We really try to equip you about the tools that you could use in order to create meaningful technologies. But at the same time, we are also going to provide you an experience on how to use those, and at the same time, paano i-market yung mga ginagawa ninyo. But of course, overall, DSC is more on community building. So basically, we try to build things for the benefit of the society. So next slide, please. So what do we do in developer student clubs? Like ano yung talagang specific? Like ano yung actual na gagawin nyo here in our organization? So next slide. So there are various things that we're going to, of course, to do in our organization. So this is more of a general overview lang naman. So of course, we would have talks. We would listen to various esteemed speakers. So those are from the industry, and they would share their insights, experiences, and wisdom in terms of a particular topic. So currently, we are glad to say that we are recognized also by Google Developers Group. So and also the Google Developer Experts. So basically, we could also tap in some resource speakers over there. For instance, a talk about a certain technology or a topic that you would like to have. And second, which is I would say the peer-to-peer style of learning is what we call the study champs. So basically, you will be learning new skills through hands-on workshop with your peers. So it means we would be also having activities wherein you would collaborate with your other members, and you would try to study a particular, maybe for instance, you would be learning Android together as a member, and we would be trying to provide resources that you could go on a self-paced manner, so that learning just really continues very well. And I would say learning with your other members, it's a really fun one. And then of course, thirds, we would also try to have webinars. So actually the talks and the webinars kind of intervene with one another, because due to the pandemic, we cannot really see one another physically. So basically, all of the events that we are planning to do would be all online. So, which is not very new. I mean, this is the new normal, and we have to really accept it. So with the webinars, you will be watching events online. This is not really limited with events from the DSC itself, but we would also be providing events from Google themselves, such as the Android Meetup, or the Dev Fest, which is actually coming this October 13th. So please register if you can. So those are the things that we try to also share with all of you, because learning just never really stops. You just have to deal with it. And of course, the fourth one is creating tech solutions. So basically, as I have said earlier, the culmination of all the learnings, of all the study jams, of all the talks, and all of the webinars that you have attended will culminate into our what we call tech solutions project. So basically, you will be building real projects or real applications per se, or anything it could be, just to really showcase your learnings from it. So these tech solutions would be, as much as possible, be related to a certain community problem that we could solve using technologies. And for the next one, of course, since we are supported also by Google developers themselves, we would also try to give you, or yeah, give you access to various Google developer tools and resources to really help you jumpstart your learning and at the same time your skills in terms of developing. So for instance, we will help you get resources on Flutter, GCP, which is Google Cloud Platform, Firebase, Kotlin, Maps platform, TensorFlow, Android, and Angular. So those are usually the tools that we will be learning over the course of the school year, hopefully. And those would help you really make the gawing actual yung mga naiisip nyo. So for the next one, and for the last, this is the very culmination of all DSC chapters. Like this Solutions Challenge is an annual contest that invites students from DSC communities to develop solutions for local community problems using one or more Google products or platforms. So usually Solutions Challenge is one of the most awaited events every year in a DSC chapter, because this would be it's not really a competition, but most of it is a showcase. So everybody from around the world, around DSC chapters, would be showing their own solutions from solving a certain community problem. So in order for you to understand more about what Solutions Challenge may look like, we prepared a video for you that would be giving an example of what a certain solution for a community would look like. So let's watch the video.
Saya dilahirkan di Bojonegoro. Ibu saya mendidik saya boleh bermain, tapi bermainnya itu nggak boleh jauh-jauh. Saya melihat kakak saya kebanjiran, yang paling parah itu tahun 2007, di mana rumahnya itu sangat tenggelam, banyak korban jiwa yang ditimbulkan, dan kakak saya itu kehilangan.
Kemarin ya lumayan, kemarin.
Ya. Kalau airnya semakin tinggi kan, nggak bisa lalu lintas kendaraan kan nggak bisa lewat, kita biasanya pakai perahu. Palingnya kalau udah agak parah lagi kita ngungsi.
Warga juga pasti resah, kalau enggak sebelumnya belum diberitahu kan resah. Kalau sudah diberitahu kan nanti ada persiapan.
Saya ketika kuliah di PENS ini, saya pertama kali tahu DSC itu dari dana. Seharusnya kita bisa menghindari hal buruk terjadi ketika kita mengetahui apa yang akan terjadi. Dana membantu saya sekali dalam hal tersebut bersama tim untuk membuat aplikasi L-Float.
Alatnya itu bersifat kayak misal di sini bakalan ada banjir, dari pemerintah bakalan langsung, tidak berdasarkan yang sebelumnya berdasarkan data kami, itu berdasarkan dari WhatsApp. Jadi setelah itu penduduk bisa ke posko terdekat. Di sini ada lokasi-lokasi poskonya. Terus kita bisa kayak ngeset arahnya belok kiri maupun belok kanan, itu ada. Karena kita memanfaatkan teknologi arahan juga dari Google. Oke, sudah selesai?
Oke, selesai. Kemudian kita mencoba ke sana, kita menunjukkan ke warga Bojonegoro.
Kalau sekarang kalau ada aplikasi ini kan bisa langsung masuk ke HP-nya masing-masing. Jadi semua warga otomatis langsung tahu.
Di sini kita milih Balai Desa
Mulia Agung,
Tujuh Arah. Di sini kita bisa lihat di posko ini ada berapa banyak orang.
Membantu banget berarti ya, sangat amat membantu.
Iya. Ini rencana emang akan kami rilis ke Bojonegoro.
Oh gitu ya.
This is the power of DSC. Students all over the world, we can learn and teaching together and also to solve local problems.
Dengan adanya aplikasi Elfood ini, saya merasa sangat senang sekali saya bisa membantu warga masyarakat Bojonegoro, terutama untuk kakak saya.
So I hope that you were able to see a community problem that have existed over there. So those are from our friends over at Indonesia. So it's the DSC Pence University. So basically, as you could see, just to summarize it, in Indonesia, in that particular area, it seems that the flooding really goes bad with them. Like here in the Philippines, like sobrang sama ng baha. And the usual problem that they have is that every villagers are not aware that there's going to be a flood. Like they would need to use WhatsApp. They would need to rely on a WhatsApp group chat just to be informed na tataas na yung baha and they need to evacuate. So basically, the DSC from our friends over at Indonesia really just being bothered about that certain problem. That is why, because they are part of the DSC and they have the necessary tools that they could use in order to create, then they have created an actual app, like an Android app, wherein every villager would just need to install that and they would be alerted if the flood is about to start. And at the same time, that already suggests wherein kung saan sila pwede mag-evacuate, which is a good one. I mean, you could see the problem is existing. And technology over there could really help us alleviate that problem. And that is what we try to do here in DSC. We don't just build technology just for the sake of the corporations or enterprises or for the sake na kailangan lang natin magpasa sa mga profs natin. We are building tech because we are also building a community that needs our help. So you could be also a superhero by just building an application or maybe a software that could help our community. That is why overall, that is what DSC PLM is general about. So maybe we could head on to our next slide. Yeah, for the next portion of our agenda, we are going to introduce to you the very backbone, so yung pinakalikod ng Developer Student Clubs PLM. So technically, DSC PLM wasn't just built overnight, or it's not just one-man band na ako lang yung nagpatayo at naisip ko. So basically, we also have very aspiring and very passionate people who also wants to take part on building a very vibrant community of student developers. And I would also like to share to you guys who they are, because they have really played a big role in really establishing our chapter here at DSC. So of course, I would like to introduce them all to you, but you will be also seeing them. So of course, let's head on first. Next slide. Of course, yours truly. I would be the President and Chief Executive Officer of the DSC PLM. So I'm, again, Juan Miguel A. Mendoza, and I am an incoming third-year computer science student at PLM. So if you're a computer science student, maybe you could raise a hand or put an emoji over our live chat. So hi over there for those ComSci students watching us right now also. But now let's head on to our next officer. So maybe Vince, you would want to introduce yourself.
Hello.
Yep,
So
yep, we could hear
yeah,
you.
thank you, Boss Mix, and hello to everyone watching us right now in YouTube. So my name is Bin Sandre Gisip, Vince for short, and just like Boss Mix, I am incoming third year student taking the course of computer science. So I will be the Chief Operations Manager of DSC PLM. And again, greetings to you all. Back to you, Sir Mix.
Thank you very much, Vince. So Vince would be our Chief Operations Manager slash Officer. So right now, let's head on to the next one. Next slide, please. Take it away, Jericho.
Thank you. So, hello guys, I'm Jericho N. Contreras, the Chief Technology Officer of DSC PLM. Same with them, I'm third year student, computer science. So, see you all in DSC PLM. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jericho. So Jericho for our CTO, Chief Technology Officer. So next slide, please. Neil, take it away.
Good day, everyone. I'm Neil Christian Arriego and the current Chief Community Development Officer of the DSCPLM. And I'm second year computer science student. And I'm hoping to see you on our community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Neil. So Neil for our Chief Community Development Officer. And of course, lastly, next slide, please. Take it away, Mer.
Hello everyone. Yan, syempre hello sa mga haribon. Ayun. I'm Merjan Tan, second year computer science student and the Chief Creatives Officer of the Developer Student Club PLM. So I'm looking forward to work and of course to have fun with you guys. Back to you, Migs.
Yep, thank you so much, Mer. So Mer for our Chief Creatives Officer. So basically these people that you are seeing right now, those are my co-founders and my co-officers for this school year. So we will be all your kuya in this chapter and in this journey that you will also be taking at DSCPLM. So please don't be a stranger with us. We would be gladly also knowing you as well if who you are. So I hope you were able to see and really just be mesmerized by their faces. Anyways, of course, you will be seeing them soon over our events, and of course, later on, whenever we would have a meetup or something. Yep. So thank you for my co-officers. So now you have seen them. Also, for the next slide, please, there. We also have our faculty advisor. Of course, a organization is not an org in itself. If there's no one that would help us really uh, understand us in terms of our decisions and the running of the org. So we have Prof. Antolin J. Alipio, or he usually prefers to be called Prof. AJ. So he's one of our faculty, he's the faculty advisor for the DSC PLM, which he is a full-time faculty member of the computer science department. So for sure, if you're a computer science student watching right now, for sure, at any point of your studies, you will be meeting Sir AJ. So yeah, so basically that is all of the officers and advisors that we have for our DSC PLM. So now let's head on to the next one. So we would like to briefly discuss about what the DSC, like how DSC would be structured. So basically, we would like to show you how the org would work internally and how our additional officers are also will be used in this one. So overall, as you could see me over the top, I would be the Chief Executive Officer, and basically the five of us are called the executive branch, wherein we are deciding on in terms of the directions and the inner workings of our organization. So basically, we always try to come up with something that really benefits all the members that we have. And of course, inside DSC, there are different departments that you could join on. later on. These departments would have their own specific work and workings in terms of our organization. So we would have our officers to discuss each of the departments. So for you to understand how they operate. And basically, the four of them are technically the officers for their own respective departments. So I think maybe we could start on with the operations department, which to be discussed by our COO, Vince. So Vince, take it away.
Thank you again, Boss Mix, and hi again for everyone. I'm introducing myself. I'm Vince, COO of DSC PLM, and I'm the one leading the operations department. So, ano bang ginagawa natin dito sa operations department? No? So, expected na we're in charge in overseeing all operations done in the organization and ensuring it was executed efficiently. And for example of that is making operation strategies, policies, or making a system for the community or the organization. So as we can see on the screen, there were four main officers, namely administrative officer, finance officer, and internal relations and external relations officer. So brief discussion lang naman sa apat na to. So administrative officer, siya yung in charge in the organization database and file system, ensuring na documented lahat. And for the finance, um, uh, actually, ayun yung mismong word niya, finance. So, expected na i-handle yung finance. Siyempre, meron ding auditing and recording funds and expenses for the org. Next is the internal relations officer. Ito yung siya yung magiging lead project manager, ensuring projects are tracked and within the scope. And lastly, the external relations. Already, he or she, the one responsible for coordinating with the outside organizations. So possibly nandito yung mga siya yung kukuha ng mga collaborators, etc. And that's it for the operations department.
Thank you so much, Vince, for the discussion. So we would just like to summarize it again. So for the operations department, it would just be about the operation. It would handle how the org would work internally. So under Vince, supervisions would be the administrative officer, finance officer, and internal and external relations officer. So now I think let's go on to our next department, which is the technology department, to be discussed by our CTO, Jericho. Take it away, Jericho.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Jericho again, the CTO of DSC PLM, and I'm going to handle the technology department. So ano ba meron sa technology department? Tulad nung nakita nyo kanina sa video, we create technologies that will solve the real-life problems. So if you're interested in creating solutions using technologies or programming, pwede kayong sumali dito sa tech department. So under tech department, we have here the software engineering, data science and analytics, and Internet of Things. Every sub-departments have its own specialties and respective leads. So every sub-departments may mga leads dyan, and may mga focus din sila. Like software engineering focuses on creating softwares. Data science, the gatherers and interpreters of raw data, and Internet of Things, which create technology that based on internet. And that's the technology department. Thank you, Mig. Back to you, Migs.
Thank you very much, Jericho, for sharing about what technology department is. So right now, let's head on to our CDDO, Neil Riego, to discuss about the community development department. Take it away, Neil.
Good day to all of you. I'm Neil Christian Riego, your Chief Community Development Officer, and I'm handling Community Development Department. Yun. So, nakikita nyo naman, konti lang naman yung i-handle ko, isa lang naman. So, ano ba ang Community Development Department? So, from the name itself, we will be handling the community, specifically the external affairs for the DSC PLM. So, yung community relations officer will be helping me to search for external partnerships and also the internal partnership. We will be handling all of that. And yun, if ever na interested kayo or marami kayong connections and network, please apply to this role. And yun, tatanggapin ko kayong lubos. And yun, thank you, Kuya Migs.
Okay, thank you very much, Neil, for that introduction about the Community Development Department. And of course, lastly, let's have the Creatives Department. Mer, take it
Hello.
away.
Ayan. So, again, I'm Mer. Ayan. So, moving on to the last department, which is the Creatives Department headed by yours truly. Ano nga ba ang Creatives Department? So, the Creatives Department is responsible for establishing the art direction of a project, developing marketing strategies, and translating these ideas into campaigns for the organization's various projects. So, sa Creative Department, meron tayong tatlo. First is the graphic designer lead, which is in charge in translating marketing strategies into creative campaigns that communicated the necessary information through an excellent visual and design. So yan yung taga-design natin lagi. Yan. So second, we have the social media manager. Of course, um, it he or she is the one responsible for managing all the social media channels such as Facebook, YouTube, and our LinkedIn accounts. Also, in charge in planning, implementing, managing, and monitoring organizations' social media strategy in order to increase the brand awareness and improve marketing strategies. So, yung last natin is the documentation lead. So, for our documentation lead, which is in charge in utilizing various photography and videography techniques in executing deliverables and also ensuring the quality of output produced is excellent and consistent with the organization's branding. So that's it. I hope to see some of you in the creatives department. Back to you, Miggy.
Thank you so much, Mer, for introducing to us what creative department is. So basically, that's the overall structure that we have here at DSCPLM. So of course, it's very worth to note that all of the officers and leads that we have mentioned are currently vacant. So it means walang nagte-take up ng mga positions na yun. For the reason that, again, we have told earlier that our accreditation status is still on process. However, it's already being processed by OSTS. However, in terms of the status, we don't really have much of an update yet. So we would be opening the applications for those said officers and leads later on. So just really watch out and please bear with us in terms of your patience. But of course, we are hopeful that we will still be established inside our pamantasang mahal. So now, since you have already known us internally, then maybe for the next slide, please. Maybe let's have a discussion about the question that we always get from our Facebook page. So it's about the membership. So another disclaimer again. Memberships for DSCPLM are not yet really announced. So we are not really announcing any members yet. So basically, no one is still a member of the DSCPLM. However, we are going to discuss what happened, why we are. It seems that we are silent about what's happening here at the CPLM and your applications. So now, next slide, please. So again, as I said earlier, due to some recent changes in the DSCPLM membership policies, we would be releasing a very final, promise. This is a very final form, Google form that you will be answering for all those interested applicants. So this form is released because we are planning to really open our doors for all PLM students regardless of undergraduate studies. So we have seen on our registrations earlier that someone checked in from the communications like from the communication of arts, and I have seen also from the business economic courses. So it's really good to see that you are really interested in learning about DSC PLM. And basically, as of now, we have already applied for a university-wide org, so that everyone from all discipline and from all fields will be able to join us and take part on being a community of vibrant students. So next slide, please. In the Google Forms that we will be sending later on, so for those who have registered on the link na pinagpo-post namin over our Facebook page in terms of registering for this live session. So you will be receiving a email later on that would be containing some details about how you could apply for us on the DSC PLM. So in terms of the Google form that you will be answering, which we mentioned earlier, there would be segregation in terms of application. So for the first instruction that we have, for those applicants who have already submitted their membership application, that is the first Google form that you have answered way back August. And it's also the registration form that you answered whenever you click on the button on our Facebook page. So if you're part of it or you have answered it, then you will need to follow these instructions. So on the new Google form that we will be sending, you will need to select the confirmation form on the select membership form. So you will be confirming your membership after this live session. So we would want to know if you're still interested on pursuing your application and being part of the DSC PLM. And in that confirmation form, it's quite short because we're just needing some details to verify your confirmation. And you just need to fill it out, and then you just need to click submit. And then next slide, please. And then for those new applicants that will be answering the Google form and hasn't really answered any Google forms way back before, then you will need to follow these steps. So same process, I mean same link that you will be visiting. So you would just need to select the membership form, and that membership form is quite really detailed because we would not want to know you more as a member. So basically, if you are interested to be an applicant or a member of our organization, and it seems that you didn't remember and answering the previous registration form that we have, then you could just select this option. And then of course, it would lead on a form that you would need to answer, fill out those necessary information, and then easily click submit. And then next slide. And then, of course, after answering the form, please give us some time to process it so that it could be actually 1 to 3 days, or maybe we could do it in batch. So please have your patience. And then we will be sending over a detail about joining our community platform, which is our official Discord channel or server, sorry. And you will be seeing instructions on how to join there. And as we said earlier, while we are waiting for our accreditation status from the OSDS, you will be accommodated over on the guest lounge on our community server. And all of you who have answered the form, regardless of confirming it or applying as a new member, you will be all tagged as DSC applicants. Because as of now, what we are doing is just more of an orientation, or may just get to know of what DSC is all about. However, we are not yet really allowed to operate in terms of doing activities like events or maybe holding some of them because of our accreditation status. So while the accreditation status is not yet released, then all of you are considered as an applicant. But rest assured that actually all of you will be accommodated, or you will be informed once we have already got our confirmation from OSTS. So for the next slide, please, we would have Neil Riego to discuss about the community server that we are discussing earlier. So this would be the waiting room for all of you applicants. So let's have Neil. Are you there?
Hello, hello. Hello?
Okay,
Dinig
yeah,
po
we hear
ba?
you. Yes, yes. Take it
So
away,
sorry,
Neil.
sorry for technical problems. Medyo mabagal net po namin dito. So if ever na maputol po ako, Kuya Mings will continue the discussion. So currently, sinabi ko nga kanina, I'll be handling the community development for DSC PLM. So we will be for our community platform, we will having the Discord. Some of you know Discord for gaming, but we DSC PLM, ina-incorporate namin siya for our community since mas marami siyang capability kaysa sa Facebook group and Facebook page. So, ano yung mga features na ngayong meron yung Discord namin? So, we have announcement channel na wherein may categorization doon ng mga announcement. Kunyari, meron event na ilalabas ang mga DSC chapter. Siguro yung iba dito alam na palagi ako nang i-spam ng mga GC since partner namin yung recent partner namin na DSC Loyala is naglabas ng kanilang event na Tech Everywhere. So, ganun yung magiging idea pero ngayon mas magiging organized na siya since nasa announcement na lang siya. So pwede nyo tignan siya pabalik and yung iba pang events. So, hindi lang events yung ipopost namin, meron ding mga free courses kung saan bibigyan namin kayo ng mga free access sa courses, kunyari sa Coursera, ganun. And bakit namin yun linagay din? Since sinasabi nga namin na we are aiming to integrate technology into community. So, ina-encourage din namin kayo na mag-aral ng mga technology courses. So, other than that, marami pang announcement features na makikita nyo rin once na nasa Discord na kayo. Next is, ito yung culmination ng Discord. Bakit namin siya pinili? Bot managed community. We are using different bots for us to moderate you and kung ano yung mga nagiging action nyo. Pero don't worry, hindi nangongolect ng personal data yung mga bot. Nandun lang sila para i-manage kayo and tulungan din kami. Also, yung next is, kasama ng bot is yung mga fan stops. Siguro alam nyo na itong mga fan stops na to. It will be discussed and expanded sa member onboarding. So, meron kaming fan stops sa lounges. Kunyari, di ba, mapupunta na kayo sa guest lounge. Pwede kayo maglaro ng Pokemon. Yung Pokemon, we will be discussed sa Discord. Cards Against Humanity, Music Rooms, and many things. Music Room, siguro yung mga napag-Discord na dito. Alam na si Groovy. And also, baka in the future, mag-integrate pa kami na another music room. So, next is, since we are building community, yun yung aim ng PLM, to build a community wherein meron technology. So, ayaw naman namin yung sa community na yun, puro technology yung i-focus namin or doon lang highlight namin. Syempre gusto rin namin magkaroon ng light side yung DSC PLM. So, we are encouraging din na yung mga gamer, we are encouraging them to join the gaming community sa DSC PLM. And also, magkakaroon din ng events. Parang DSC PLM events lang, inside events, mga gaming community. Since such as Tekken 7 na pinakagusto ni Kuya Migs and other games. Also, the last feature is Discord will be also the platform used in study jams. So earlier parang sinabi namin magkakaroon ng talks and webinar. Iba pa tong study jam. Actually, ma-discuss siya after nung discussion ng frequently asked question. So, ayun. Yung study jams is parang casual talks and sharing of ideas within the community natin. And also, yung mga seniors natin magtuturo about sa certain topics sa technology. So, next. Hello. Next is the frequently asked questions for membership. Next, please. Is DSC PLM open for all students? Yes, we are currently applying as an university-wide, but as early as now, we are accepting all aspiring Haverbonds for DSC PLM. So, i-explain ko lang yung naging timeline ng membership parang process namin. Since nung una, late August, nag-announce kami ng presence namin sa PLM. And also, sinabi namin na DSC PLM is for CPE, IT, and CS. Pero ngayon, we break that notion na parang hindi na namin siya gusto, parang kasi yung naging notion doon is technology is for tech people. Pero ngayon, we are encouraging non-tech people to join DSC PLM to learn more about technology. Kaya, ayun, nag-apply na rin kami for a university-wide org. And we are hoping na makita namin ang different courses na pumunta sa amin. And we are willing to help you to integrate technology in your life. Since in the future, coding and programming will be a primary skill for all of us. Next, please. Yeah. Do I need a background in programming, development, or any tech-related skills to join in DSC PLM? Yun nga, as sinabi ko kanina, no, we welcomingly take member regardless of skill level in technology. We will accept you and nourish you here in DSC PLM. Yun nga, parang sinabi ko rin kanina, tinatanggal natin yung notion na technology is for tech people. No, technology is for everyone. Idea namin. Pwede na, hindi naman namin kayo pinipilit sumali sa amin. Pero we will encourage you to join us since we want a community na integrated ng technology and parang mas mapapaganda yung community kasi within the reach of technology. So ayun, so to answer again, yes, we will welcome you kahit wala kang alam sa programming or kahit anong technology, kahit hindi ka nagpe-Facebook or any related tech. Bibigyan ka namin ng idea kung ano yung pwede mong gawin and bakit yun makakatulong sa'yo. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah, okay. So, why am I only tagged as DSC PLM applicant? So, ito nga yung parang ina-emphasize namin kanina ni Kuya Migs. Currently, DSC PLM is still waiting for its accreditation status. So, ayun. Habang hinihintay namin accreditation status, hindi pa namin pwede kayong i-announce as official member since yun nga, hindi pa nga kami accredited. Pero we assure na once na naglabas na yung OSDS ng final status namin, we will update you. And so as soon as na ayos na yung accreditation namin, we will be welcoming you to be a core member and for the SCPLM. Next. Yan. Lastly, ito, isa sa notion, pag ako ay isang member ng DSC-PLM, ano yung pwede kong i-expect sa DSC-PLM na gawin nila sa akin? Or ano yung may expect ko sa DSC-PLM na gagawin nila sa mga members nila? Kasi baka isipin nyo, yung DSC-PLM ay para lang sa mga officers and sila lang yung sasali sa webinars and such. Hindi ganon. Hindi kayo magiging member sa papel lang. Magiging member kayo ng community talaga. Since yun din yung aim ng DSC-PLM. Parang to integrate technology in our community and nourish the community. So, with that, gusto naming ma-immerse kayo sa technology. So, ano pa pwede namin gawin? Ano bang idea dun sa ganon? So, magkakaroon ng mga webinars, talks na lahat kayo kasali unless may kayo ibang kailangan gawin. So hindi naman compulsory na sumali din kayo, pero we encourage all of you to join the events of DSC-PLM since ina-assure namin na yung level ng kada talks is appropriate para sa inyo since alam din namin na hindi nga lahat ng sasali sa amin is technology skilled at may skill sa technology. So kunyari isa kang finance student or sa CBGM nag-aaral, ano yung pwede namin maibigay sa iyo? Pwede kami magbigay ng workshop about technology in your course. Parang kunyari, paano ba gumagana yung technology sa budgeting? May mga technology bang ginagamit for marketing, ganon. Yun yung idea namin. And also, magkakaroon din ng mga general topics for all. Parang, kunyari, ano yung mga general topics? Paano gumawa ng isang website? Ganon. Pero syempre, yung iba may alam na rin. Pero we will also covering that for all. Kasi ayaw namin may iwan. Kasi ano tayo, hindi kayo member. Ano na kayo, part of a family na. Parang tayo, isang chapter ng DSC sa mundo. Parang ano tayo, isa tayong family ng DSC sa mundo. And kayo yung mga ano namin, mga kamag-anak namin. So we will be expecting to know you more and to engage, parang makasama kayo ng mas maganda, and also teach you lahat ng ng alam namin sa technology and nourish you. So yan. After a year, DSC is aiming that all of its members will get knowledge on current technology and be called as tech-ready student. And that's all. Thank you for listening. Back to you, Kuya Mix.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't seen my mic. Yeah, but yeah, we really thank you all for showing your interest in our organization. However, we would also like to ask your patience as of now if it seems that we are not having that pace yet in doing the activities in order for you to be onboarded. But of course, we really love to have you guys on board. It's just that we really ask for your patience as of now to really bear with us in this journey that we're also taking for our organization. So yeah, for that membership, that's really cover all. So please expect an email coming in the next day or maybe in the next hours to really further to give you instructions in terms of how you would do your application. So for the last part, we would just be giving you a brief overview of the events that we have. So as you could see, this is not yet final. I mean, not this is not the concrete events that we are going to take on the school year. However, we would like to take this course of this event. So basically, what we aim at the end of school year is for you guys to really just be immersed in terms of development. You will be able to experience how really it is to build technologies that would help our communities. So as you could see, there would be specific focus, like for instance, how to develop a mobile app, or maybe how to develop a web application, or how to deploy your web application over the cloud. Then that's the thing. I mean, the list is not yet final, as I said, but those are the proposed events that we would like to do and to take on over the course of the school year. Because each and every one of us, I believe, has an idea. However, they cannot really put that idea into action because they don't know what tools that they could use in order to fulfill that idea. That is why here in DSC, we will try to give you all the opportunities to turn your ideas into actual creations, and at the same time to help you really jumpstart your skill in terms of building technologies. So again, it's not yet final, but those are the listed events. So those would be more on workshops, it would be study jams, or if we are fortunate enough to get resource speakers from Google Developers Group or maybe from Google Developers Experts, then we would have them also on board on our events. So far, those are the events that we would like to do. So next slide, please. So actually, that really wraps up everything about DSC so far, and we would like to really thank you all for really staying in tune in our live session. So again, that wraps up the discussion. So let's now proceed to the very last part, which is Q&A. So please, if you have some questions, please drop it on our Slido. So it's the Slido URL that you have also visited earlier. So just in case, maybe we could show them the screen for, maybe we could show them. So as of now, as you could see, there are now questions that being entered into our question and answer portion. So now, again, if you're not being able to connect with our Slido, you could scan this QR code, or you could go to slido.com and then enter the event code DSCPLM, so that you could ask questions. However, again, if hindi talaga kayo makasali sa Slido, please, you can drop it now on the live comments that we have for today. So right now, we would like to allot the time so that we could answer all of them. So of course, it would not only be me who would answer the questions, but we would also have our officers to really discuss about what the questions that you have for us today. So if you have questions, just keep it flowing. We will try to answer them, but as of now, we will answer the questions that we have right now over the Q&A. So please just have those questions coming. So I think maybe we could start off right now in answering the question. So yeah, so let's have the first one. Paano po kung as of now, basic lang po ang meron po kami, but we want to be a member of the tech department? Pwede din ba po ba yun? So I think Jericho could answer the question. So the question, I think, is just about the initial skill or initial maybe thoughts, or yun nga, parang kailangan ba ready ka na, may alam ka na sa programming or such para sumama sa tech department?
Okay. So, to answer the question, as of now, wala pa kaming qualification kung ano yung tatanggapin naming mga member. Pero, we will inform you soon once na accredited na kami.
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much, Jericho, for that. And at the same time, if you would like to be a member of the tech department, yes, you don't need any prior knowledge first, like prior knowledge sa programming or prior knowledge sa deployment. We don't need those things because, again, here at DSC, we are learning in a peer-to-peer manner. So we learn together. So ano tayo, kapit-bisig tayo na magtutulungan in learning those things. So thank you, Jericho, for answering that. Yeah, so now let's take it for whoever asked that. So now let's have this one. What future events will be there, and is it worth waiting for? Well, we have discussed it earlier, like before this Q&A. Those are the initial events that we would like to do for our organization, and that aims to help you in terms of building an actual technology. So yeah, well, we would say that we would try to make it as exciting as possible. So we hope that you will be really waiting for it. So yeah, thank you so much for that question. Now let's have this one. Magkakaroon po ba ng collaboration yung mga iba't ibang DSC chapters sa Philippines? I think, yeah. Let's have Neil to answer that for all of us. Neil?
Yan, thank you. Currently, meron na tayong collaborate. Actually, may partnership na tayo with DSC Loyola. Currently, parang naglalabas na sila na event nila ngayon. Parang 6-part webinar series wherein called Tech Everywhere. Also, magkakaroon din sila ng hackathon na pwede rin tayo, na encourage din tayong sumali. So, DSC Loyola lang ba yung magiging collaboration natin? So, hindi. We are aiming to collaborate with numerous DSC chapters sa Pilipinas. Also, if papalarin, baka pwede rin magkaroon ng collaboration with DSC chapters sa ibang bansa kung papalarin lang and kung may time din tayo. So, ayun. Also, sa mga DSC chapter lang din ba tayo nakipag-partner? No, hindi lang tayo sa DSC chapter nakipag-partner. Pwede rin tayo mapag-partner sa mga council, organization, kung saan pwede silang magbigay ng mga iba't ibang talks and kami din magbigay ng iba't ibang talks sa kanila. Thank you.
Yeah, so basically, overall, yes, there are possible collaborations that could happen between different chapters dito sa Philippines. And actually, as we speak, we are actually planning right now. Siyempre, di ko disclose, but we are trying to brainstorm events that would really utilize every DSC chapters that is here in the Philippines. So, malay nyo, magugulat na lang kayo na ka-collab natin yung DSC chapter over at UP Diliman or maybe over the guys at UP Visayas or maybe at University of St. LaSalle at Zamboanga as far as I know. But yeah, we are open for that. So let's just hope that it would happen soon. Yeah. Thank you for that question. So now let's head on to another one. How would the DSC get their resources? Do the DSC get direct support from Google themselves? Actually, for this one, in terms of the resources, yes, Google sponsors some of the resources. However, it's not always available because many chapters are also using that. So, but we will all try to do our best really quick devs, so it means that the resources we also get is really credible and really useful for us. So yeah, again, it's not just resources, but we also could tap in maybe from the Google experts. So yeah, the resources are limitless and we will really do our best to accommodate those. So we really thank you for those questions. So next one, how are we able to access Google products during Solutions Challenge? And if we are able, to what extent are we able to use them? So actually, Google provides like student package or maybe like a starter packs when it comes to using various Google technologies. So usually those are the resources or the resources na ginagamit ninyo during a certain solutions challenge. So yeah, but to cut it short, the resources are just readily available for use whenever needed. So meron tayong magagamit. And usually sometimes in terms of the extent, it really depends. It could be for a year, or maybe if a potential investor invested on your solution, then that resources could be used as the lifetime goes on. So yeah, so it really kind of depends on the situation, but yes. So now let's head on to another one. Are you using Nitro Discord? Are you using a boosted server? Neil?
So, I'll answer that. As of now, hindi. Pero sana kung bibigyan nyo kami ng funds to boost our server, why not? Pero yun, bakit hindi? Since DSC kami, bakit hindi kami nagna-Nitro Discord? Hindi namin ginagamit yung advancement ng Discord. Kasi kami isa pa lang kami sa DSC chapter na gumagamit ng community platform na Discord. Yung iba kasi ginagamit is Slack. So hindi pa kami parang talagang invested sa Discord. Parang din namin siya. Tinitingnan din namin siya kung magiging effective din yung community within the Discord. So ayun. To summarize my answer. No, we are not using Discord. Pero in the future, baka malay nyo, magkaroon ng Nitro Discord tayo. Thank you.
Yep. So basically we are also a budding org. So ibig sabihin bagong org lang din kami. So in terms of the resources that we have, kulang na kulang din kami. So basically we're just trying to maximize what's readily available over online or over the internet na pwede natin gamitin for a very vibrant community development. So yeah, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe in the future we could boost our server, or maybe we could improve our platforms for our community development. So thank you so much for that. So for this another one. If we became a member, can we jump from one department to another? Do we ever feel like a change of heart? I think I would answer that. As of now, we don't have a very we cannot yet release any details yet about how the org will work internally. So like what are the policies na meron kami? Like ito, for instance, yung policy na ganyan, na mag-change ng membership. We could not really say anything yet. But later on our potential member onboarding session, you will all know those kinds of things. So sa ngayon, for the meantime, magdasal tayo na lumabas na accreditation status. But yeah, for the meantime, wala pa kaming solid na answer for your question. You can expect the answer once you have been onboarded officially at DSC PLM. But thank you for raising that question. We are already planning to have that answer already. So thank you. So next one. Is there a limit regarding sa amount of applicants na pwede nyo pong i-accommodate? The answer is no. We wholeheartedly open our doors for everyone. So regardless kung ilan tayo lahat, that doesn't really matter. So however, as soon as we got our accreditation status, we will be giving a window period of 2 weeks bago namin i-close yung applications for everyone. So, ayun. For the meantime, while we are waiting for the accreditation status, you are all free to apply to apply now as a member. However, as we say kanina pa, we like to have your patience kasi we cannot really say yet if you are already a part of the DSCPLM, but you're already potential one. So that's something to already consider. So thank you for that.
I have additional information about that. So
Okay.
aside from Mickey said, we encourage everyone to join our organization. So join lang kayo. Please wag kayo mahiya.
Yes. Basically, we accept everyone regardless of your tech background. So kung hindi ka man tech course, it doesn't that doesn't matter, because as long as you have that willingness in heart to be part of our community and to really contribute for the well-being of a community, then why not? We would really love to have you on board. So yeah, let's head on to the next question. Need po ba ng interview before maging member? Again, this is something that we would like to keep for ourselves first. But however, as of now, there are
Hello?
no interviews yet. Yes, Neil?
Hello, dadagdagan ko lang din. Siguro yung interview is for magiging verification ay ano lang siya. Verification purposes sa Discord, since gusto natin na maging inclusive yung community natin sa DSC community. So baka magkaroon din kami ng interview within the Discord din, and magkakaroon kami ng verification kung kayo talaga yun pumasok doon, or baka may ibang gumaya sa inyo. So ayan. Pero hindi siya technically interview, parang verifying lang kayo. Verification for your information and personality. Identification pala. Sorry. Okay.
Yes, certainly. So it's more of a verification process only, but in terms of technical, like tatanungin namin kayo kung anong background sa technology or something like that. No, it's not a very serious interview. It's just we would like to know kung kino-confirm mo ba talaga yung existence mo as a real person. So yeah. So thank you for that. Next one. When are you expecting na ma-approve po ang accreditation po ng DSC-PLM? As of now, it's very wala kaming control. Like we don't have really solid dates in terms of the approval, but we are all hoping and we are all praying that the accreditation comes as soon as possible because we also kaming mga officers would really want to really jumpstart in kicking this DSC into our PLM community. But we are hopeful and we are positive about it. But yes, we don't have solid dates yet. But don't worry, we will let you know if that already happened. And hindi naman kayo others sa amin. So yeah, so thank you for that. Next one. Would you open positions for different course representatives? This is something that we are going to consider. However, there's no solid plans yet. Maybe yes, maybe no, because technically in the officers, one of the requirements actually that we would be imposing is the officers would be open for all undergraduate courses. So basically, though on the officerships there would be specific requirements, but we could not disclose it yet. But yes, to be part of the officers, we won't be restricting the undergraduate course you belong to. So in terms of being the course representative, then we are also considering that. But yes, we will see first. Existing Facebook groups or other group chats, as of now, we don't have one. We would want to use Discord as of now because we think so far it's the best platform that we could use in order to create meaningful communications with one another. But as the need arises, we would be also opening. However, as of now, no, we don't have existing group chats yet in. Then another one. Can you give a possible projects in the future for technology department, software engineering, data analyst, IoT specialist? As of now, none. We don't have possible projects yet because these projects usually relates to community development, and so far we are still looking for potential community partners that we could go to and maybe offer our solutions for them. But no, we don't have yet. But of course, if you would be part of the technology department, the usual things that you will be doing is that you will be developing apps like mobile app or maybe a web app, or maybe you will be assigned to deploy them on the cloud or those things like that. So those are like the general overview. But again, specifics we don't have yet. So maybe let's entertain some 3 questions. So I think just to wrap it all. So yeah, maybe this one. Is it true that DSC offers free subscription on some of the Google service for developers? We are going to apply to, which means we are doing our best to give all for those interested members to have those subscriptions. So we are right now as we speak, we are looking for ways to accommodate that kind of need for everyone. But yes, we would try to give you subscriptions as much as we can. So for instance, in the quick labs, which would be discussed later on or on our future events, you will be given access to it so that you could learn about like Google technologies in general. So yes, this one is interesting also. Does DSC plan to join in competitions related to tech? So yes, we are. Actually, we are also planning to join hackathons if ever. Maybe members would be designated for that contest, or maybe we would join some programming competitions like competitive programming competitions. And maybe if we have found someone that is a potential competitor for that event, then why not? So yes, we are going to join, and that's actually part of relationships or community development with other communities as well. So yeah, let's maybe have another one. Okay, this is interesting. What if I join sa ibang department under DSC PLM pero gusto kong matuto pa rin ng ibang knowledge such as programming, etc., etc. So as part of our community development, despite being part of a particular department, you will not be restricted on that certain knowledge. So for instance, if you're part of the creatives department, you will still be able to learn pa rin naman on how to program, or maybe how to develop, or maybe how to deploy an app, mga ganun-ganun. So basically, we are not restricting anyone in terms of the knowledge that they would have by joining a specific department. So yes. Maybe we will be entertaining the last question. For us, so it seems that we're also looking at the live chats right now. Maybe someone are asking over there. Okay, yeah, let's have a last one. Okay, for the last one, hi, will there be a guide on how to use the Discord for this org, since some of us were not familiar with Discord? Yes. During your stay on the guest lounge, there will be guides. Thanks to our CDDO, Neil, he had already crafted instructions that are already easy to follow. So you could follow along on how to use our Discord server. So I think so far, let's wrap up the question and answer for that. And maybe, oh yeah, there's last one. This is very interesting too. Is DSC planning to have in-campus programming solution, creating software development competition or such? Yes, definitely. This would be not like a very formal competition, but this would be more of a showcase. Like you would try to win us over, like what solution is better, or maybe like that. But again, the details are not yet final. However, yes, we would be also having our in-campus activities, like competitions, or maybe showcasing like that. So yes. So that wraps up already our question and answer portion. So we would like to also thank our officer for being there to really listen to our questions. And basically, if you would still have other questions for the rest of us, then please head over to our Facebook page and drop a message from us to really answer your question. And I'm sure and may pang gusto magtanong. Ayan, so makikita nyo sa screen nyo, please reach us at our email, which is dsc.haribon@gmail.com. And if for accessibility, you could also visit our Facebook page and drop a message there. So, ayan, we would like to thank you all. Like, thank you very much for attending this live session. I know it's been quite long. it's been a very tiring. I know it seems that we are getting yung oras nyo for this Saturday, and we really appreciate that you have extended your time to really to get to know us. So ayun, again, at later on there would be an email sent over to you that would be containing a post evaluation form. So please answer it as possible as kung kaya, kasi we will love to really know your feedback about what happened today. And ayun, again, it would be a 2 emails. So the first email would be our post event evaluation, which is the event evaluation for short. And the second email would be containing the instructions that you will be following if you would want to apply as a DSC member. So right now, this already concludes our live session. We hope that you were able to understand how DSC works, how what we would do in DSC, who is DSC, and who runs or what runs the DSC. So again, if you have some questions, please continue to put it on our Slido. We would also still try to reply on it so that it doesn't feel di kayo na-feel na others. Yes, but don't worry, we will answer those questions after the event. Pero if you have another questions, like you have thought the other day, then visit our Facebook page, or you could drop us an email over our email address shown on the screen. And also, we are now at LinkedIn. Uh, Please, you could also visit us there, linkedin.com/company/DSCPLM. So again, we would like to thank you, all of you. I know it's been long. Hopefully, you have still stayed. So we are now seeing 86, but it's still good to hear and to see all of you really participating over our live chat. So hopefully, let's this doesn't just the interaction doesn't just end here. Once we have given you the Discord invite, please be vibrant over there. So pwede tayo mag-mingle once we have that. So thank you so much. Thank you for attending our live session. Hopefully you were able to learn about what DSC is all about. And we are really, 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 really looking forward to have you on board at DSC PLM. So for now, that's all, and we are hoping to see you soon. So thank you very much, and have a nice evening. To my officers also, thank you so much for this. So yeah, looking forward for all of you. So have a nice evening, everyone. Take your dinner, kain na kayo, and have a cozy, nice evening. See you all sa Lunes. Pasokan na. Bye! DSC. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Shoutout sa kay Joshua Bumanlag and kay Adrian Larde. See you mamaya sa meeting. Let's go. See you all, lalo na sa face-to-face.